Hi everyone, my name is Ollie. Educational Psychology, a Foundation for Teaching. Educational psychology is something that's really affected our modern instruction, but it's not something that everyone understands. We have a few different things, a few different variations so we can understand this. Step 1, follow. The definition of psychology is defined as a branch of psychology that studies children in an educational setting and is concerned with teaching and learning methods, cognitive development, and aptitude assessment. What does that mean? Well, a branch of psychology means it's a branch off from actual psychology by mind. It will focus on studying children, not college-age kids, not focusing on children in a educational setting. We're concerned about teaching, which means how are we getting point A to point B? How are we teaching these kids? What is their mind development? What's up here? What's in their mind? How does that come to be? How do we get from point A to point C? Aptitude assessment, we want to see how they're doing with their actual assignments. How well are they learning? Educational psychology brings multiple disciplines by studying the student's classroom behavior, their social interaction, and their thought process. Things that come together to bring us to the main core of educational psychology. That said, we're going to dip into the concepts that I mentioned: behavior, cognitive concepts, developmental portions, and we're going to start off with behavior. Now, it is imperative for educational psychology. We have to understand how people do things. It's no good to see the result if we're under the process of why someone is behaving the way they are. Operant conditioning is something that every teacher in America, Europe, uses. It motivates students to do well or not do well because they know that there's a reward or there's a punishment involved. Operant makes these students know what is to be expected. If you do well, such as turning in all your homework on time, you receive an award such as recess time. But if you go to class consistently, you may receive a punishment such as less nature. Cognitive concepts help to expand their schema, which is prior knowledge. What knowledge do they already have? Multiple disciplines correlating together helps improve problem-solving efficiency, because seeing multiple issues helps us bring things together in a way that it helps students recognize issues faster. Now, the developmental portions of educational psychology focuses on the rate of change in students' cognitive recognition, which improves their mental capacity. The developmental, which is what Pajot said, helps us understand how students have an increasing brain as they get older. You don't start off with all the knowledge on earth whenever you're born. You have it when you're 5. You continually get more and more advanced in developmental work. Now, looking at the real-world application, Pajot had a theory of to track children's mental development. There are 4 stages involved from 12 years of age, the milestones, and some of the potential detriments to a child's development. Understanding these stages allow us to track the educational psychology and the rate at which students are learning something. The Pajot system is imperative for modern-day educational setting because it gives us landmarks to check. Point A from this to this age, point B from this age to this age, and so on and so forth. All 4 steps are great to utilize. This helps us create a class of educational psychology because you have to coordinate learning with multiple classes. If you're familiar with disciplinary literacy, it's a very similar concept. We have to mesh knowledge together. We have to bridge everything together. A spider web has points of entry. They all come together. Just because someone's teaching history or teaching math or teaching English or writing doesn't mean that it's solely that subject. For example, a history teacher can talk about Egypt. Great. What does that mean for a writing teacher? You introduce hieroglyphics now. What does that mean for a teacher? You can have a Prince of Egypt involved. There are different ways to bring together full different knowledge to help us have educational psychology in a way that we can evaluate. That is why it's important to see which children learn things. Something today.